Hello everyone and welcome to a roundup of latest rumours in today's episode of Beyond the Mask. We have quite a few things to discuss, the main being an interesting plot pitch for Scream 7 in today's episode. This pitch could possibly be used if Spyglass decide to go down this route. After all, we know they're actively rewriting Scream 7 at this moment and it's said to be a complete reboot. This pitch could possibly highlight the kind of story they could explore going forward. It isn't really anything official, but it's worth a talk in my opinion. So let's discuss the pitch. All of this mainly stems from Jeff Snyder, who basically did a post discussing how Spyglass could continue the story of Scream if they genuinely do intend on completely rebooting it. So we're going to take a look at the pitch, then we're going to go into the discussion of what exactly is being said, and then I'm going to give you my theories on how I think Spyglass will approach Scream 7 and how possibly they could integrate this pitch with what they will be heading for with Scream 7. You'll understand when I get to the end of the video. So the entire pitch focuses on heading back to Scream 1996 with the intention of revisiting the expanded family of Casey Becker, bringing a sister for Casey to the forefront of the story as she is targeted by Ghostface all these years later due to her link to Casey. Now the pitch goes on to state that the killer could end up being Stephen Orff's brother, possibly who appeared in Scream 4, and he would be basically seeking revenge for his brother's death by blaming Casey's sister. So that generally is the pitch's rounded story. I read the pitch and was put off by a lot of ideas that he came with, to be completely honest with you guys, but generally speaking, I wouldn't completely hate this. Personally, I feel like a sibling for Casey should have been integrated into Scream 5. I mean, that was a reboot, right? They had the links to Casey with Liv McKenzie, but it was never really addressed or made a deal of on screen, so it all felt pointless. But revisiting the original and expanding on Casey's family isn't the worst thing I've heard as a pitch, to be fair. I mean, the whole process of these legacy sequels is to revisit the past, play on nostalgia and draw the audience back in once again, and I think a trip down memory lane with Casey's sister at the forefront wouldn't be unbelievable. But one thing I feel is Scream's main draw, despite a lot of fans having grown up with the franchise, is teenagers. They tend to want fresh teenagers in those type of high school roles, and the whole notion of Ghostface stalking teens is very much a gimmick in itself these days, which is one of the reasons my theory is that they'll reboot this franchise by creating a new start, possibly with fresh teenagers and so on. The only way they could possibly lean into this pitch, I mean if they went with it, is if Casey's sister had a daughter who was a teenager and that could bring a group of new people to the forefront around this particular character. That way it would be the best of both worlds, appealing to the younger generation but also having nostalgia implemented due to the fact that she would be Casey's niece. It's bittersweet as I do like the idea of having ties to Casey Becker. I mean, her death was iconic and is widely associated with this franchise, so to expand on that family with some insight into the aftermath perhaps of what happened to the Beckers after 1996 wouldn't be something I'd hate. But it'll be interesting to see what kind of story they do come up with going forward, because rewrites are likely happening as we speak, and I'm sure some information on that will be available very soon. But remember, they're looking to tell a completely fresh story with this, with likely no ties to the past two movies. So we all need to keep that in mind when considering where Scream 7 may end up. Another rumour I want to quickly address before I close this video is the alleged rumour that Courtney Cox and Neve Campbell have turned down the opportunity to appear in Scream 7. Clarifying this isn't true. I don't know where it comes from specifically, but a lot of you commented last night sort of saying, have you heard they're not coming back and so on, and when I researched this, it's simply not true. And as I said, rewrites are still happening, so they currently don't even know if they'll even need any of the legacy cast yet. You know, who knows what's around the corner for this franchise. You know, they may completely base the movie somewhere completely separate and have no links to any characters from the past, or maybe mild links, you know? Who knows at this point? But let me know your thoughts on the pitch, you know, my theories on them, along with everything else in the comments below. Like this video if you enjoyed it. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video.